Hey everybody, it's Jem with ChappyPlans. I'm so excited to share the beginnings of my project life for 2024. So if you'd like to see it, stick around. Hey friends, it's Jem with ChappyPlans. Thanks so much for being here for this project life video. This is sort of my intro to what I'm going to be doing in 2024, which is the same as I was doing in 2023, and it is my second year on this scrappy project journey. So I'm very excited to share this with you. It's the beginning of February. I have already completed the first couple of weeks in here. These albums that I'm using are a 9x12 size from scrapbook.com. It's what I used last year, and I decided that I was going to, I'm trying to think for the future. Like, my house is very tiny, but at some point we are going to purchase a very large calyx cube system for the living room. And in that, I hope to house all of my scrapbook projects so that if anybody wants to take them off the shelves, they're more accessible, and then they're also visible because, right, I spend hours and thousands of dollars on these scrappy projects, and I want people to be able to see them. So I wanted to have them all be the same color so that when I look at them, I know, okay, these are Project Life videos or Project Life albums. So it was really exciting for me to finish 2023. 2024 is going to be a lot of the same. I am focusing more on using Ellie Edwards story kits and stories by the month. I really, really love the changes they made to stories by the month for this year. So, and since I don't really do any like smaller, more like zoomed in stories, I'm not sure if I'm going to maintain my story kit subscription. I'll have to kind of evaluate that as the months go. But definitely the stories by the month, completely obsessed. So I actually completed these pages at my friend Linda's house. Linda loves creating. So shout out to Linda. I'm sure if you're an Ellie Edwards person, you know who Linda is. She's a super, super talented creator, scrapbooker, memory keeper, and teacher of all things scrapping, and is frequently featured on Ellie Edwards. So I did these pages at her house, so they're not filmed, but the front page is really like an intro to 2024. There are a couple of photos, but really it's about just saying, obviously, it's 2024. We're starting over. And this is my one little word here. So this is my word is release. And that came from the Let Go. It was a 3x4 card from the Letting Go, maybe it was the story kit. And then I cut out these vellum pieces from a vellum 3x4 card, and I just put hashtag one little word. And 2024 I cut out from another stories by the month card. And then in January, so I think there's going to be one of these every month because I've gotten February's and it looks slightly different, but there is like a 4x6 title card, and there's like a February looks like this. So I think I'm going to keep pieces of ephemera. I really wanted to incorporate more ephemera since this is my main scrapbook and memory keeper for the whole year. Like I said, I don't do too many zoomed in projects because I also do daily journaling and planning. So like I'll do specialty albums for vacations and trips and things, but I haven't really done any sort of like extra stories like a lot of people do in the scrapbook community. So I want to keep some ephemera in here. And so far, when I made these pages, it was the very first 2 weeks of January. So I just had saved this tag from one of Nora's clothing items we purchased for our Disney trip, and so I put that there. So I'll be collecting up ephemera to attach there. And so week 1 we had our first like snowstorm, so I did this thing where I kept cutting out these words. So I have 2024 started like this, remember this. Let me take these out so you can see them better. And I like adding the little hatch marks around the paper. Used my tiny attacher for some texture. These gold stars are from Paper Person. The washi is from Doodlebug, scrapbook.com. The alphas are from Freckled Fawn. The labels are from Studio Calico. Puffy hearts are from Paper Person. I think she went out of business. I really don't know because I was a subscriber all year, and then all of a sudden in December or November, we get this email that says they're closing the shop and December will be the last subscription, which is good because I was going to cancel anyway because the customer service has been atrocious. And I think there's a lot going on in her personal life or something, Kelly Perky. I'm not sure. But, and I'm somebody who has a ton of compassion, but I don't understand how as a business owner, you can just leave people hanging like that, especially when you have their credit card information and they've sent you multiple emails and you haven't bothered to respond. Like, to me, that's not okay. So anyhow, I'm feeling a little bit salty about that. Something different I'm doing this year is putting the week on the front. And you can see that the repeated elements this week were these like little tags or these words that I cut down from a tag. This is Nora at Target, and I put a little quote, "Mom, do I look slay?" And I put her age there so that I remember. She was just being silly trying on these glasses. We didn't buy them, but she was just being silly. And then I put highlights from the week. Monday, lazy day, focused on letting things go. Tuesday, last day of Christmas break, teletherapy, and Nora had Abby over. Wednesday, back to routine. Nora had school and I subbed. Thursday, finished season 6 of The Crown and lots of December daily. Friday, more December daily content. Took Nora to the library and Target. Saturday, took down Christmas and snow. Sunday, snow day, more December daily. So that I put a picture of the cat looking out the window, like what the heck is going on. And then a little cozy kitty picture. And then moving to the second half of the week, playing a game that Nora got for Christmas from my mom. And Fun Friday equals library, haircut, Target, and met Matt at Burger 21, dessert at T-Swirl. And I love this vellum card here, and I thought it was perfect for going in between both of these little, you know, stories here. This is Nora, a story from today. Oh my God. Playing charades, Nora's current go-to game, chicken laying an egg. That's what she was doing. Or that's what I put in quotes because I guessed, and that's what she was doing. It's so freaking funny. And then this one, this idea came from Linda while I was at her house. No, this was right after I left her house, and I was like, what should I do with these? I want to put little things on them. And then I kept texting her like different configurations of like, do you like this way? Do you like this way? So this is what I settled on. So thanks, Linda, for helping me figure that out. Again, cut out the 2024. And yeah, just used like same color chipboard pieces on these spaces, and they have different sentiments for things for the new year. Bring on the next season, fill your paper with the breathings of your heart. The beautiful journey of today can only begin when we learn to let go of yesterday. And then there's this picture of my cat, and that's me, and we're snuggling. So it just says Sunday snuggles with Smokey and a mini Rubik's Cube. Nora has been playing with it nonstop since she got it Friday. And then, so that's week 1. With some cat hair, because always cat hair. Week 2, I love the simple alphas, and I stamped over this card that says why, what, how, who, where, when, where. And using some colored inks on this week, really pulling the pinks and yellows. Pretty color combo. So this one is from, these chipboards are from the Work Story Kit. So I subbed Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So there was a lot of work happening this week. Bringing in the stitching, like faux stitching with my marker again. Some little chipboard hearts. Oh no, those are puffy stickers. I like using my Posca pen to write on photos. That's something I like doing. So I did that in this week. Nora had crazy hair, and she was reading to me under her bed in her cozy cove. This is from the Write Story Kit, Read More, Write Better. And then here, this is from like the Laugh Story Kit that I got on sale. I wish I had got 2 of these. But it says, Nora's been reading chapter books lately. This week she wanted me to come lay in her cozy cove while she read because of Winn-Dixie. She does it with a Southern accent, and it's the sweetest thing ever because her Southern accent is like her version of a Southern accent, and I can't even replicate it, but it's hilarious. I did the whole little cutting out the words thing, so I put a little everyday story. This is when I got my hair highlighted. So I put no makeup, new hair, loving it. Big smile. And then making time for, this is the before picture. I put, whoa, hashtag hot stuff. Making time for fresh balayage highlights. Tuesday, I had therapy and then went to Minji's for my appointment. It took all day. I arrived at 11 and wasn't home until 1:30. It's so nice to treat yourself. And then making time for December daily content. I finished all the stories I had to document. It was a big undertaking, but I worked on my album every second I got. I still can't believe I did it so fast, especially since I subbed 4 days this week. And then I have this little decorative card that said everyday moments. So I stamped Wednesday. And I love how these alphas look overlapping each other. I think that's really fun. I wrote early release from school equals Chipotle lunch, boba, and shopping. And Primark for Disney gear. Bath & Body Works for new hand soap and pocket bags. And then this was a day subbing. Best way to end a long week. Watching an impromptu teacher-student snowball fight. So that was outside. And then the second half of week 2 is right here. Nora and Matt have been playing with the small and big Rubik's Cubes daily. This is a little story about subbing quite a bit this week. I got the car wash, so I wrote so fresh and so clean. Target, Wally World, car wash, Simone's, yum. Saturday, so there I stamped Saturday on some clear sticker paper. And then I wrote hashtag mood, because it's just hilarious the way Jeeves was laying in my lap on, that's me sitting in my craft chair. And then I used this tag, and I used the washi to make a little faux, like, ribbon. And it just talks about what I did Saturday and going to Linda's on Sunday. I ended up leaving in the middle of a snow squall, which was crazy. I don't think I've ever driven through a snow squall, so that was really funny that it happened, like, right as I was leaving. I put snow squall out of nowhere equal fun times. And then Linda and I were chatting so much, we forgot to take pictures. But as she was, like, I was exploring her craft room, I was like, my OCD was so happy seeing this drawer of her little embellishments. And so I took a quick photo of that before I left. And so that's kind of my way of documenting that we scrapped together. And it was just really fun being at her house and seeing her craft space and just getting to know her better. So that's the end of week 2. Week 3, I've started to set up with the Start Story Kit. I really like it. I think I'm probably going to keep subscribing to both kits and Studio Calico, even though I probably don't need all that product, but I just love both companies' designs so much. So, a lot of stickering because I started joining the BFF Sticker Club. So I'll be doing like a sticker shenanigans series here on my YouTube channel where I share my sticky journey and my BFF related content, BFF Sticker Club. I spent a lot of time reorganizing my Alex drawers and some of my other supplies. I think it's a great time at the start of the new year to reevaluate how you have your craft space set up and what's serving you best. And I decided that I needed to have these in their own drawer because I hardly use them. So I love the way this picture turned out. Nora's being silly here. She participated in the school spelling bee, which was like a completely unexpected thing. That, you know, I was able to get screenshots of. Nora and I are doing our own, like, I made her own sticker book so that she could do this with me, which is so fun. And that's a picture just of my organized space and me drinking coffee. And then Friday night, we took my mom to dinner, a belated birthday dinner. That's our Disney nails. And I always make this, well, I say always, this is our second year going to Disney, but this like tackle box full of her favorite candies, so it can kind of keep her busy both on the plane and in line when we're at Disney. And I'm going to journal about all these things. I've been chatting for a long time. Sorry about that, but this is definitely like an intro to 2024 and kind of showing you how my process works. So a lot of fun, bright photos. So it worked perfectly with this story kit and even being able to incorporate some of the stories by the month. I've got some supplies picked out that I think should work pretty well. I've got these little stitched hearts, these vellum words, some of these add-on pieces that I got were these frames, some puffy stickers, the chipboard, some die cuts left from the January kit. So I love that I'm really focusing on using the kits more. I don't think I did a good job of that at all last year or in the year before. I'm just finally starting to get my groove, I think. So I'm going to put you guys on fast forward and I'm going to get started filming. So let's go. So since I already have these pockets filled in and I had a really good idea of what I wanted to do before I started embellishing, it didn't take me as long as it usually does, which is usually about 1.5 to 2.5 hours, sometimes a little longer depending on how indecisive I am because I have so much product, but I mostly stuck with Ali Edwards products, so it took me way less time, which was lovely. So I didn't really do anything to the title card. It's just this lovely quote, and I left it that way. I decided to just use the part that said fresh instead of fresh start, even though fresh start could mean the beginning of the week because I took that on a Monday. I also felt like fresh snow was a little bit more appropriate for the photo, so I just left it with fresh and used my tiny attacher to staple the vellum word strip to the photo. These puffy stickers are from Vicky Bouton's Where to Next collection, and I love them, and this is my second pack, and I wish I had stocked up on some more because you know my obsession with puffy stickers is a real thing. I'm just going to put the date on there, and then I select these hot pink labels from Studio Calico's Color Theory line to just allow me to have a tiny bit of room to add more journaling to each of the pictures. So the quote says, start now, start where you are, start with fear, start with pain, start with doubt, start with hand shaking, start with voice, start with, whoa, start with voice trembling, but start and don't stop. Start where you are with what you have, just start. And I love that quote. I love the colors. I just love everything about these new designs that Ali Edwards is rolling out. Like this is obviously from the Start Story Kit, and then I'm incorporating a lot of elements from the January Stories by the Month kit. And I love these little pocket hearts that are little stitch hearts. And so thankful for this hobby. They were obviously from the hobby kit and the colors were perfect. One was outlined in yellow text, one was blue, and one was pink, I think, or red. And I punched them out with a hole punch because they were on maybe they were on a 4x6 card, I think. And I just selected the colors that worked for this spread. And then that allowed me to do a tiny bit of journaling because the pocket cards are actually smaller than I thought they were. So these little tiny punched out circles work perfectly to add journaling in the photos. And it's not like journaling that I absolutely have to be, like it has to be read. So if you wanted to read it, you'd have to pull it out of the plastic page protector to read. In hindsight, maybe I should have added those hearts to the front part of the page protector, but it's not a big deal. I think it's fine. It's basically just saying that I'm spending a lot of time in my craft room reorganizing things so that my supplies are serving me more for whatever creative journeys I want to take in 2024. That picture of Nora's hilarious. I took it underneath her bed in her cozy cove after she read to me, and she was pretending to take a sip from her Squishmallow that's a boba, and she's got her eyes crossed. It was just so funny. So I captured that moment. I'm so glad I did. And I decided to journal around the outside of each of these little frames that I'm using, which were add-ons in this past month. And instead of lessons from today, I covered up the word lessons with LOL from today, which kind of doesn't make sense, but I think it's okay. It makes more sense to me than lessons from today because really this wasn't a lesson. We were just goofing off under her bed. And those little tiny stories are why I love doing Project Life so flipping much. And a lot of people who do this project, I feel like they use far less embellishments and are far less extra than me with documenting. But I mentioned this in the beginning of the intro part of this video that I don't really do any smaller stories. Like I don't do a lot of zoomed in, bigger stories, more detail. So this kind of is my catch-all memory keeper. And I think that's why I like to get creative and embellish and sticker sneeze all over everything. And also, that's just me. I'm not a big fan of white space. And yeah, I love color, clearly. And I just love these little frames. So I picked a pink one, a yellow one, and a blue one. There are like several other colors in the pack. And this is the story of Nora shocking the crap out of me because she had placed first in her class the week prior for the spelling bee. And the first and second place students from each class had to compete against, the rest of the kids in the school who were placed first and second. And her school is, it was third through fifth graders who competed. And Nora's in third, and she won for her class, but she has a lot of anxiety, so she was like, am not going to compete. And we were like, okay. So then I'm sitting here Wednesday of this week that I'm documenting, and I get a text message from the TA for her class who says, here's a live link to the spelling bee. And I happened to click on it just to see, who was in it and stuff. I was curious, and I was working from home on, this kind of content. And lo and behold, Nora's sitting in a chair next to a bunch of her classmates, and I'm like, what the world? Like, what is Nora doing there? So fortunately, I have the TA's cell phone number, so we're texting back and forth, and I guess the one kid who was supposed to compete was out sick, so Nora volunteered to go in. Like, I guess, probably took some encouraging, but she decided to do it, and I was so proud of her because it's so unlike her. And I literally just had this conversation with her, how she's experiencing so many firsts and doing so many new things and learning just a lot of new things. Like, it's really exciting. There's a lot of growth for her happening this year. So, I feel like it's kind of a marker of like, this is a change year, big change. And I know little kids change a lot, but this feels like a huge shift from, little kid to sort of preteen. Even though she's only 8, she's doing a lot and she's learning a lot, and I'm really proud of her. So that's basically what I'm journaling about. And yeah, it was just so cool. So she didn't win. She made it through the 6th round. I think there were 7. So she, at the last minute, she got stuck on the word fury, which both she, my husband, and myself, because he was watching, we all thought that the woman who was giving the word said fearly, which clearly isn't a word, but that's what we heard, and that's what Nora heard. And so she spelled fearly. And obviously didn't get it correct. So that's the way it goes, but I'm so proud of her. I just can't say enough good things about all the growth that she's been making this year in so many ways, academically, physically, emotionally, just cognitively. She's doing so many things that are new and exciting. And that is going to complete the left side of this spread, week number 3. And the second half is just a color explosion because I'm just sharing so many beautiful, bright images, right? Like the sticker BFF Sticker Club Year of Stickers book that has me documenting my day in stickers is amazing. It is just the absolute most fun ever. You don't really have to think. The hardest thing you're going to do is look through your zillions of stickers for the perfect one, or the one that, not even the perfect one, but a specific sticker. That can be hard to find when you have so many. Hashtag first world problems, right? But it's just the best, best, best. And the community is my absolute favorite. So I think I'm going to start a sticker shenanigans series on my YouTube channel, not like regularly, but when I have the time to film extra content, and just share it there. And it would most likely be on a Saturday. So I'm just journaling basically about the joy this is bringing me, and that A Story of Starting card is talking more about that, about how I found this community. And I not only love the premise and the reason for the BFF Sticker Club, but more than that, I love the people I have found in the community who participate in these, daily stickering challenges and the weekly sticker challenges, and people who are going to this camp BFF, which I am blindly leaping headfirst into and decided to go, booked a ticket, or registered, whatever you want to say. And it's also something that Nora and I share together, and we have been doing since I got my book, and she's doing hers in an Erin Condren journal. But it is just so much fun, and the two of us spend quality time together, stickering our pages and talking and being silly, and it's just the best. It's the absolute best. And I can't say enough good things about Laura and Annie who started it, but also all of these fabulous folks who are part of the community. I have not met one single person who isn't kind, inclusive, and just so welcoming. It's the best, the best. So you guys need to take a look at it if you're into stickers. You don't even need to buy like specific stickers or that book. You can just do it on your own like Nora is. You got a blank notebook, you got some blank pages, even printer paper. There you go. So anyhow, that photo, yep, like I had shared before, just a picture of my reorganized pegboard there. And I am having a hard time deciding how to embellish it. So I just end up using the word this. And I think that's pretty good. I like that. The week 3, by the way, those foam alphas and numbers are from Citrus Twist Kits. And I'm going to skip over to the rest of the embellishing because I already shared with you what I wrote on my journaling. So the picture of my mom and Nora is taken at dinner. We took my mom to dinner for her belated birthday dinner, and I framed it with this pink frame that I think is just perfect, the right pop of color to break it up. It meaning this photo and the photo of our hands. That is the little Mickey manicure I gave us the night before we left, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to have the photos lay in what order. And I decide that I like the hand photo next to the picture of Nora and my mom. And then I'm going to staple starting. No, I lied. I end up putting this story on the top corner. It does a nice job of filling in that negative space there. And just put a date stamp. And then I'm going to journal on the January story that this whole week was really about staying healthy because COVID-19 is running rampant at Nora's school, crafting and stickering and last minute items for Disney. Talking about how it's a lot to pack for everybody, plan everything and prep the house before we leave, how I deep clean the house on Saturday so that we could come back to a clean house, and talked about how I didn't share a photo of us at the airport on this week's spread, but nevertheless, we did leave on time and get into Florida in the afternoon on Sunday, and we actually unpacked, explored the hotel, and stayed in and watched the Lions game because my husband is a huge Lions fan. So it was a really relaxing day. It was our first day in Disney, and that's about it. So that is going to wrap up my Project Life intro and week 3. I hope you guys will stay tuned for more. I'd love to know how you are documenting your year and in what format, whether it's scrapbooking or journaling or planning. But thank you so much for joining me. Please like this video if you did and subscribe if you're not. Take care of yourselves and remember that you are enough. Bye, friends.